Hey guys, this is kind of the time that I wanted to try to relate through video to some of the questions that people have been asking. Once a week, I'm kind of going to open it up to anything that anybody wants to ask. That's obviously appropriate and most likely and most hopefully music related, but I guess there are some personal things that I might be willing to share if you guys are nice enough. Yeah, so basically, without further ado, I'm going to try to answer some of the questions that were asked this week. Our first question is from Mitchell Goldberg, who asks, what do you find most inspires you to keep on inspiring the rest of us? And I assume what he means is essentially what inspires me to write the music that I write. Um, by nature, I'm kind of a really sensitive guy who tends to experience life rather intensely. So anything that has a very deep impact on me can be a subject for a song. They need to be highly charged, emotionally charged in nature. If I'm too close to the experience, it's probably too much. So it's most likely a little bit after the experience that I'll kind of reflect and take the time to write about it. For the most part, they're photographs of the way that I have felt in those situations, or the way that I have felt that others have felt in such situations, and they're often stories. What I write, I actually originally wanted to be a writer, and I became a little bit too perfectionist about my writing, and this is kind of my way of telling stories in very, very short, brief form, in which there's not really all that much time for me to be overly critical. But they're basically photographs of various experiences, very intense experiences. And yeah, it's the things that kind of just get underneath my skin that tends to inspire me most, whether it's strong feelings for somebody or whether somebody else's experience. I can give even an example. I had one song, and I'm not going to say which one because I don't like to say what the songs are about, but there's one song that I wrote about a 7-year-old girl who was dying of cancer. Actually, that had a very, very strong impact on me, and I never knew her. I never met her. She was a niece of a good friend of mine who used to speak about her quite a lot, and that experience kind of affected me enough that I was able to kind of get into that experience enough so that I could write about it. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, Mitchell. Moving on, we have Bonnie. I think it's Lakealade. I assume she's from England or New England because she asks if I have any plans to come to New England, which is obviously on the east coast of America. At the moment, no. I have a West Coast tour planned for um, May in California and part of west coast of Canada as well. Yeah, and I'm independent, don't have all the money in the world, so it's really kind of hard to get out to the East Coast, but I would certainly love to. And if you'd like to make that happen, Bonnie, you can just get more and more of your friends into my music, have them find me on Facebook, have them all become a part of this kind of growing army that we've amassed to try to get the music out there. Because certainly the more fans that I have, the more that that's going to be possible. I can attract promoters and all sorts of industry people who might be helpful in putting such a thing together. Quentin Gertz asks, cake or pie? Let the epic battle ensue. Yeah, for the most part, I'm a pie guy. Whether apple, cherry, or blueberry, I'll take pie over cake any day. Pie is kind of awesome. Stephen Wright asks, would you and your brother tour together? Well, Stephen, that question has been asked many times, and the short answer is no. We do different things, and we don't tend to combine the things that we do. We're on very different paths. The things that Disturbed does and the things that I do are just profoundly different. Even though I recognize that a lot of Disturbed fans tend to like my music as well. But yeah, I would be part of more of an alternative rock kind of situation rather than a hard rock, on that level, borderline metal from that standpoint. It's just they're just different scenes. I wouldn't want anybody throwing eggshells at me, I guess. Okay, moving on, we have Josh Peacock asks, do you have a favorite band that has helped shape your music, or perhaps you as a person? And Josh, that's a really difficult question. I grew up on such bands like The Cure, Depeche Mode, Whitesnake, the classics such as Led Zeppelin, and then later on, obviously, Nirvana, Green Day, those sorts of things. It's really hard to say which band in particular. The common denominator between all of them is that I prefer melodic rock melodies of any kind that are strong melodies, the kind of stuff that I can sing in the shower. There's lots of people that send me music that tends to be, at least in my mind, just a lot of screaming, and I don't relate to it. I mean, I can respect it, and I don't want to disrespect anybody that likes that. But yeah, I need to be able to hum it in the shower. That's really what it comes down to. That's the ultimate litmus test. I think one person, one or two people that kind of like really stick out are like Smashing Pumpkins and Peter Gabriel. Actually, in fact, to a certain extent, somewhere I guess I kind of crossed over between the two of them. I mean, Peter Gabriel, I very liked. I loved his writing, and I loved just the melodies and the harmonies and just the mix of everything that he did all together. And there was also something just about Smashing Pumpkins also that had that sort of complex nature that you didn't quite know what to expect, but there were just some real solid melodies that I was able to really, really connect to. And I guess to a certain extent, my music is kind of a fusion of the two. I kind of combine the harder elements of Smashing Pumpkins with some of the softer elements from Peter Gabriel. For the most part, since I'm a piano player and I've been playing since I was 13, so a lot of my music tends to be ballads, at least the stuff that I've been writing. Now I work with a lot more guitarists who come up with various riffs and things like that, so I have a lot more room to develop in that area. Yeah, and that's about it for now. But you guys can stay tuned every week. We're going to do this, like, I guess, every Thursday. I'll put this out, and it'll be up on my YouTube channel, so you can always come and check it out. And yeah, just send in your questions. Very happy to interact on this level of something new that I'm trying out. If you like it, let me know. And yeah, keep listening. Take care. See you.